common denominator.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time.
Everyone has access to the information. We just know how to analyze it better.
Where else you gonna have this much fun?
You the man.
Todd Father.
Show me the money.
What I've been doing, had to triple my bag. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Yeah. Had to triple my bag.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's no trick to make a lot of money. All you want is to make a lot of money.
What is going on? What is going on? Let me know if you can hear me, because it's been a while. So I'm waiting for that confirmation, and then we'll get started.
I can hear you.
Well, that's good.
Yo, yo, yo. 10-8.
Somebody let me know if you can hear me or you can't. Loud and clear, they say. Loud and clear. Well, welcome back to another live episode of Learn Crypto. My name is Nick Hellman.
I'm Todd Butterfield.
We strive to be your one-stop shop for crypto and stock, technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and news. We haven't been on here live together in probably about a week and a half. Todd has done a couple solo shows, and of course, we have been busy with Patreon members over in the private Discord. Hasn't been much going on in the market as far as news or volatility, so that's why we really haven't gone live, besides the fact that we were not buying around that 12,000 mark, looking for lower prices. Now, we are starting to rally here slightly off the lows, but overall, Bitcoin is down to $10,800 when people were wanting to buy the breakout of 12,000. So we are saving a bunch of cash, a bunch of USD Tether to start putting back into these altcoins and Bitcoin when we deem fit. What do you got going on over there, Todd?
Not too much. Alts are coming still down, so I'm still been sitting on my hands. I think Bitcoin's still going to roll over here, so just kind of watching.
Let's make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And if you like free cryptocurrencies, leave your Rapids RPD wallet address in the comment section below for your chance to win 10,000 RPD. We will be giving away 10,000 RPD during this show for the last live show me and Todd did together. So if you haven't watched that yet or you haven't left a comment, go hunt that video down. I think it should say about 2 weeks ago, and put that in the comment section. Well, without further ado, let us get this going. We are over on CoinMarketCap. I don't know what McAfee is doing up here. John McAfee ruins cryptocurrency and has a terrible antivirus. No, I'm just kidding. But it slows this computer down a lot. So Bitcoin, 10,784, up 4% for the day. We did see as low as like $9,500 when Binance was under maintenance. Even before that, you were looking below $10,000. Ethereum up 3.56%, over $200 for the first time in a while, 201.83. XRP still probably more of a stable coin than Tether at 28 cents. It did see a nice wick there down to 25 cents. One that we have not been hodling or trading very much lately because it really hasn't been doing anything, but historically it does a lot of these lulls and then explodes to the upside. If XRP does not get some positive momentum going into the Swell conference, which I believe is in November, I don't know where it is ever going to get the momentum from. We do know Ripple is continuing to sell XRP, and we do know Jeb McCaleb is also selling XRP. I don't know how many he has left, but he did have billions as of about 5 or 6 months ago. Slight green across the board here, but not really any major outperformance over Bitcoin. We have sold all alts much higher. We started dabbling 25 to 50% of the initial alt bag back at lower levels down here, but that's kind of what we're thinking about on the alts. We really think that the alts still aren't decoupled from Bitcoin price, and of course Todd will go over Bitcoin price here in a couple minutes after we get over to the biggest gainers for the day. Kin up 52%. This thing has been put to sleep, but 52% is pretty solid if you happen to just jump into it randomly. I'm going to have to take a deeper look to see what is driving this rally and see if this can continue higher, as I know this has fallen drastically from the highs with only a $38.7 million market cap left. DigiX up 10%, Bitcoin up 10%. I thought Bitcoin was a proven scam, but maybe I'm incorrect. People are still trading it. I'm buying it, I assume. And no real names that we even recognize here. The biggest winners for today. Bitcoin Diamond even making the list.
Walton
Crazy.
Chain.
Crazy what people are putting their money into. Walton Chain is a legitimate project, seeing 6% gainer. Decent volume here, $3 million at $1.52. So let's have Todd take a look at the charts. The technical analysis is what I know you want to see. We're going to go over a few news articles, do a giveaway, and then go to the chat box and see what kind of fundamental questions or technical analysis questions you guys may have for us. You're on.
Well, we got the 4-hour Bitcoin that we usually start with, just showing price action. We've been talking about a sideways correction, which has been correct. We traded this not too bad, had a couple little missteps, sold a little bit early on the right at 12,000, but was not bullish up there. Bought a little bit on this first break, made a few $100s. I still think we're going to roll over here. And one reason, if we go to the Bitcoin USD Pulse of the Market software, if you, since we haven't been live as much, some people might be lost here, but we had a buy around 11,000, 11.2, because the technometer here was, this was a 35 level when we broke down. So the buys that gave us all the perfect buys on the way up, this is really the first time a oversold technometer didn't work. I didn't buy that, so I didn't get hurt by that because I kind of felt like that one wasn't going to work. So I did sidestep this correction. But I think the key is the 11.1, 10.8 level didn't find support, and now we're back really up to that level here at 10.8 over here at the right. And what's happened is the technometer went from extremely oversold, that again didn't work, to now we're back to 45.78, and that number is going to deteriorate incredibly bad in the next 24 to 36 hours. So it's going to give us a 50 sell if we just really have any type of minor strength from here. So I really think, again, there's some type of downside still coming. There's a few different ways we can read the downside. Let me see. I haven't been at this computer in a while. Let me make sure everything. Here's a couple choices. As everybody knows, we do throw some Elliott wave on the charts, even though we own Wyckoff. Well, there's 10,870 on Bitcoin. So another surge. We throw some Elliott wave on the charts. I think the one way to do this is ABC down for a W, ABC up for an X. Then we've had the A down. We could go sideways here for a B and then have this break down to 8,000. We could do an ABC higher. So I think there's a lot of ways these next few weeks could play out before we turn down. Or if we look at this here, this is why I've really been showing more to Discord, where we're doing a fourth wave right here. So this was the 1 down, the 2 up, 3 down, and 4. And then really we would stop right here, somewhat right here right now, and then have the breakdown to 8,000. So I think that's also a choice. But if we don't break down and go sideways here over the next few days, few weeks, then maybe we're going to do a triangle here and then break down. So again, I still think there's a breakdown coming. This is the highest price we've seen on Bitcoin here for a while at 10,856. And let's go in 5 minute. You can see here, that's a recent action off that 9,500 low. That low came while Binance was down, which kind of screwed me up. I possibly would have bought a little Litecoin down there. You can see the Litecoin had to run from 71 to 78 down here. But again, acting a little weak here. You can see compared to the Bitcoin chart, Bitcoin's recovery high, Litecoin still not doing too well. So again, I'm still really leaning bearish on these things. So let Nick give a little bit of news and we'll come back and talk a little bit more details.
Well, let's do it. Tjung111 said, why would Bitcoin go down if you believe we're in a bull market?
Not everyone believes we're in a bull market, so those people will sell.
We're in a bull market as far as if you're counting from this market cycle off the lows, but this last portion has been a corrective portion. The first major even sell signal on Bitcoin was probably about, what was it, 2 months ago when we sold the 9,000. We wicked all the way to 771, and then we started the ascent to new highs. But really, we think we've been in correction mode since our major sell that we gave in Discord around 13,100. We said to liquidate all Bitcoin and altcoins as the correction was coming. Now, we have traded some of the chop, but overall, that trend is continuing lower. Now, me and Todd have been mega bulls on Bitcoin for a long time now, starting with our buys off 3,200 lows, 5,800 and 6,000 buys in 2018 as well. So we're still very bullish on this ecosystem, but markets have to correct. They don't go straight up. We think that Bitcoin just hasn't corrected enough yet, and it's really let too many people get long right here. We need to see a little bit more pain, a little bit more correction, and a little bit more sideways. If you look at the rally in Bitcoin here, what was it, Todd? About 6 months of rally from 3,200 up to the 14,000 highs.
They left everybody behind.
And we just really haven't had that long of a correction. For the correction to be complete, this is why we thought the correction wasn't over the first touch of around 9,100. That would have been a very short time frame to really correct and kind of consolidate all the major gains we had in a very short period of time.
I mean, I think people bought that 13.5 breakout. They bought the 13.1 up there when we was live selling. They bought 12 grand just a little bit ago. And so I think majority of people missed the rally. They bought up there. Now they're sitting with losses. They're nervous. They're bullish, but they're nervous. And we're going to wipe them people out, I think, still with a move down below 9,000. So when that happens, we'll get rid of all the weak longs. And I think that'll set the stage for a run to new highs by the end of the year. I mean, that's my thoughts.
And we'll get into another macro reason why we were so bullish all of 2018 when the price was 5,800 to 6,000. Why we were really doubling down when we did get that dump to 3,200 level. And that was because of the institutions coming into play. These are supposed to be ETH, Bakkt Exchange, Coinbase Custody, Grayscale, etc., etc. And one of those is set to launch next month, at the end of next month, and we're going to talk about why that is bullish and what it really means. You might be seeing people toss around Bakkt on Twitter of it being bullish or bearish, but not much of an explanation. So I found a good article that we're going to read over and kind of give our input. These are the macro fundamentals we've been pushing for a year and a half now, and why Todd and I believed in this space, continued to accumulate, take advantage of passive income and trades, and made a lot of money for ourselves and other individuals, whether it be Patreon members and private client group members, based on some of these macro fundamentals, partnered with Todd's technical analysis with Wyckoff and Elliott Wave.
And we've been killing the stocks.
So 3 reasons why Bakkt's September launch is bullish for Bitcoin. Most cryptocurrency enthusiasts have been waiting for the launch of Bitcoin futures trading platform Bakkt. Recently, the crypto community rejoiced as the ICE-operated company announced the official launch date of September 23rd. On official launch date, the only conversation they have had is that Bitcoin will be supported. Now, I do know that there was rumors that other assets will also be on the exchange, so this would also apply to those if you want to maybe try to front run what you think Bakkt might do. Those are rumored to be Litecoin and Ethereum to start along with Bitcoin. Within 48 hours after the big reveal, Bitcoin surged by 10%. I don't know if I would call that a surge, as Bitcoin did rally from about 10,200 to 10,600 after it fell from $12,000 in just a couple days, so don't get caught up on the adjectives here. Many investors know that the entry of Bakkt into cryptocurrency space is bullish for the long-term health of Bitcoin. However, very few understand the reasons why. We've tried to explain those to you, but I know we have a lot of new members, and we really started hammering on Bakkt in the earlier part of this year. I haven't talked about it too much. We said it was still going to come, still going to exist, but I'm excited to give you some more details here. Number 1, Bakkt's futures contracts will be physically settled as opposed to cash settled. Looks like the highlights all disappeared. Currently, futures contracts are settled in cash. This means that upon expiry of the contracts purchased, market participants pay or receive the difference between prices upon the futures expiry in fiat currency, such as dollars. Obviously, that doesn't really help the underlying very much, whether that is gold futures, Bitcoin futures, whatever it may be. Cash-settled futures contracts have little influence on the demand for Bitcoin since market participants are only buying exposure to the cryptocurrency rather than buying the actual coin. This is where Bakkt separates itself. For the first time in history of cryptocurrencies, there will be a platform that offers futures contracts where buyers can expect the physical delivery of Bitcoin. This means that Bakkt has to take out huge sums of Bitcoin from circulation in anticipation of client demand. I don't know how much they're going to have up front, but if more and more people start using this product and this trading platform, then obviously Bakkt will be needing to custody or purchase more Bitcoin. Also, that Bitcoin will then be paying out to the clients who are guessing or trading correctly. Now, can they sell that Bitcoin? Sure, but I believe a lot of people in the space will see this as an up-and-coming asset class, and if they're trading and actually earning Bitcoin, they might take a percentage of that to more of a hodl bag versus a trading bag, at least for the midterm, similarly to what Todd and myself do with our cryptos. Number 2, Bakkt provides a federally regulated and compliant system to buy Bitcoin. With Bakkt, institutional investors now have a platform where they can use a part of the assets managed to buy Bitcoin. That's because the ICE-operated firm has received the seal of approval from Commodity Futures Trading Commission and the New York Department of Financial Services. All investments made through Bakkt are legal and now tax compliant. So lately people have been saying, well, Bakkt is irrelevant now because, Coinbase has custody and it's gotten a lot easier and, more people understand. That's still a process, guys. That is not a trusted name. That is not an easy way to onboard money. With this, anybody who has any investments in the New York Stock Exchange can easily transfer US dollars and trade this on Bakkt, trade Bitcoin, maybe Litecoin and Ethereum as well. On top of that, institutions will be much more liable to then invest clients' funds because now it is the seal of approval from the government and the United States regulatory firms that it is okay to hold, trade, and store Bitcoin. That is what people have been waiting for. This will also help with taxes. This will help with insurance purposes, with custody and liability for the institutions and the advisory firms. And then lastly, Bakkt to facilitate retail Bitcoin payments. Now, I know there are point of sale systems, but Bakkt is saying they're actually going to be using the liquidity from this exchange and various products to help a lot of merchants accept Bitcoin. And, we got an alarm going. And allow those who don't know much about crypto to easily be able to purchase Bitcoin on Bakkt and then spend it freely as they want to or deem fit at various stores. Starbucks and Microsoft are at the top of the list for being those stores that are looking to accept Bitcoin and cryptocurrency supported by Bakkt in the future. The bottom line, Bakkt provides a platform for institutional investors to buy physical Bitcoin through its legally compliant system. In addition, the ICE-owned company offers a framework where the average Joe can purchase the cryptocurrency and use it as a payment solution. One of the two major value propositions of Bitcoin is as a payment and monetary system. The other is the digital gold, so this will help the latter. In other words, Bakkt can exponentially shore up demand for the number one cryptocurrency. This is why the launch in September is long-term bullish for Bitcoin. If you want to go check out this article yourself and go read over it a few times, it is on Crypto Coin News, so go check that out. I believe after Bitcoin, the next coins to be listed on Bakkt, whether that's Ethereum, Litecoin, whatever it might be, we'll see what I call the Coinbase effect. In 2017, any asset that did get added to Coinbase.com mooned. And I think that this will be the same thing here. Number one, crypto people are going to see this and key off this news or the rumors and buy it up. And number two, this will be the first time that institutions now have access to those cryptocurrencies via the Bakkt platform. And they got some deep pockets. With these limited supplied coins, well, we know where the price will go. So we'll hopefully let this consolidation in the market occur. Hopefully we're right that we go lower here. We'll find our long positions. And then the launch of Bakkt will be the start of a crypto rally, leading us into potential all-time highs by the end of 2019.
But I'm going to tell you how it's really going to work. Let's go to the overview. Because what's going to happen, that news is extremely bullish. We've been talking about that. But that's why we're at 10,900.
Right.
So I think, I'm going to guess that news will end up being taken as bearish probably, because the whales will probably use that news to get everybody long, and then we'll start turning down. Everyone will be like, oh my God, it's going to be like when the CBOE and CME launched futures. It's going to end up being bearish. And Wall Street's, there's going to be all kinds of FUD, and we're going to fall through 9,000, and that'll get everybody bearish, and then that'll be a chance for the whales to reaccumulate and take it higher. So that would be a perfect reason for these markets to turn back lower, probably, because that is bullish news. Anybody that's not long is probably going to be scared to not be long because what the last sentence just said, this is major bullish for Bitcoin. So, but yeah, that's why we're at 10.9 and not at 31.25. So again, I think that'll be, somehow we'll trade around that news where maybe we don't look that good when Bakkt launches and everyone's going to be like, damn, that's not bullish news, it's bearish news. And sell out, run below 9 grand, and then from there scream to all-time highs. So that would be my guess. The news will just screw everybody up because that's what news is for.
Go ahead and go back to the charts if you want to take a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, some of the major players. If any of you guys have any charts you want Todd to take a look at, now is the time. Then we're going to go over Vitalik Buterin, talking about Ethereum scaling once again. This is not going to get into a lot of details on that, but we will bring it up. And is the real Satoshi Nakamoto making himself present? I think it's hogwash, but we will touch base on that as well.
I mean, here's Litecoin. I mean, we had got stopped out on Litecoin. What was it?
135.
135 up here. And then I know I had to trade at 90 and sold at 98, bought at 92, sold 100. I sold by 99.40. Haven't done anything since. Everyone's itching for a trade, but I've just sat here. This looks like a flat correction here to me. I mean, if Bitcoin don't ignite here, that thing looks like it goes to one more new low. Taking out this low would be ideal. Going below 65, I'm sure bringing in some selling. So would love to be a buyer below 65 on Litecoin if we can get that chance. I mean, Ethereum's been a total dog. It is acting better here short term, but that chart's horrible. So we called this 5 waves up, Elliott wave, real time. I remember the day we were live on all these. I said all these were probably 5th waves. That was... I know we sold some Ethereum at 320-ish. So Ethereum maybe has made a low. Maybe we'll test the 173. I still think something down around 160 makes more sense. So we'll see what happens right here. 11.1 probably on Bitcoin. Everyone's looking for, what level some of these things change. I mean... we have to really go above 11.2 to get above this wave 1 by Elliott wave standard, so we're not doing that yet. I think if we do get above 11, 11.1, 11.2, all that says is we're going to work sideways more than down short term, but I still think we're going to work sideways then down. So again, I mean, Nick and I have been bullish when no one was bullish, but I got to say I'm still kind of bearish. So bullish longer term, but I think short term we got to get rid of some weak longs. So I'm just not chasing these things here. So.
And really, that's played out great for us. We did sell a couple tops, 13.1 to 13.4. Also, we did sell a little too early on the rally higher, but with getting that Bitcoin sell, it procced us to sell all of our altcoins as well. And we know that even when Bitcoin went up towards 12,000 on the FOMO from China, all the alts continue lower. So that part of the trade did work. When people were like, oh, everybody's saying you got to buy the breakout of the triangle at 12,000 up there, we stuck to our guns, said we were bearish, and we know what happened. It spiked up to 12, 12.2, and shattered down quickly.
I mean, there's like XRP. I mean, that one's been horrible. Did show some strength from 24 to 29, so maybe that one will come back down and test 25 or 26 and be friendly. I'm not sure.
Somebody wants you to take a look at NEO as well, and then XMR.
NEO's been a total dog. We traded a lot of that up there at the highs. And as Nick said, sold that when we was at that 13.1 level more than anything. And it's just deteriorated. I've stayed totally away from that. I've really only traded Bitcoin, Litecoin for the trading portion for clients. I'm sure somewhere here these alts are going to look a little bit better, but I'm not sure exactly where. XMR is one. You'll see it kind of looks more like a Bitcoin chart.
Yeah, this is one that we talked about in Discord, having a super high correlation to Bitcoin, at least on the last rallies from Bitcoin, and one that we let go of there around 96, 95 bucks when we thought Bitcoin was also topping. You did have a chance there, deep correction into 76, but let's see what Todd's thoughts are here. Do you think it continues to follow Bitcoin, and maybe people should be looking to kind of sell out of some positions if they're long once again off that 76 level?
I mean, I think if anyone's got any cash looking for a coin, I think maybe XMR is the one. If you're not going to be in Bitcoin, if you got enough Bitcoin, I think XMR is one that I think maybe you should have. So, and I don't really own any. So that's just what I'm saying, that would love to see Bitcoin break down, and maybe this thing comes back down and shakes out 71, which would be this low here, and the previous low at 73 we just made. We got a low over here at 67. But I think this is the one that's acting so good compared to Bitcoin that I think it's one that if alts heat up, this one's going to lead a big rally. So that's one I would add if I'm looking to add, but I wouldn't add today. I don't think there's any hurry to add it. But,
I personally think the weakness that we've seen in Zcash. Zcash is the second largest privacy coin, been a competitor to XMR for years now. And this was one that I've never been friendly of. I've always liked XMR. Well, Zcash just had its own contentious hard fork, meaning half the community went to Ycash, half went to Zcash. And also they had their founder and lead developer come out and say they want to increase treasury and all these things that are not really appeasing to the masses. I think a lot of the money after that fork, I said you guys could buy a Zcash, sell just prior to the fork or right at the fork, which would have given you a sell there around $115 at the top. You had a couple days to even sell it. This wasn't one that crashed immediately after the fork. You had a couple days, and I think a lot of that money, a lot of people kept their Ycash, and everybody is selling their Zcash and maybe going into the competitor XMR, as they've not been very happy with the way Zcash has gone recently, which can be very evident in the fact that half the community is splitting off into its own cryptocurrency. And then once again, when the co-founder and developer came out and kind of gave his opinion on development of Zcash and they need more treasury and foundation funds, blah, 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 that kind of went on deaf ears, and it doesn't appear that the market is very happy about that. So I think that might be what is helping XMR as well. I mean, if you're in privacy coins and you're selling Zcash, you're probably going to allocate those funds to the same sector, and the next biggest, or the actual biggest, most popular privacy coin would be XMR.
There's Bitcoin dominance. I have shown 72 up here. I haven't changed this chart in weeks. We are trying to get up there. I hate to chart Elliott wave on a dominance chart, but that's what we've tried to do. That would say that, alts will have a better season. I personally don't think we're going to see what everyone thinks is an alt season. I think you're going to see specific alts get some attention and get some money run to them. But I think you got to be long more Bitcoin than anything still. I just don't. That's where the institutional money is going to go first, and I guess it's going to follow into specific altcoins.
And those are going to be
not going to be the whole basket.
Yeah, those are going to be the altcoins that are available on these institutional platforms.
Right.
And we've been saying for months off the lows that, look, you can get into some alts on good prices or new alts, but really you need to have more exposure into the Bitcoin and large cap alts, because when institutions come to play, that's just going to be their option. That's going to probably be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. Then on other platforms, you're going to have Ethereum Classic, XLM, maybe an XRP. You might start to see an EOS fall into place, but that's just the way it's going to be. Coinbase Custody is starting to look into other assets like an Atom. I could see proof of stake and masternodes really be the next dividend for traditional finance. And maybe we start to see that come into play as well as custody options like Coinbase Custody start coming around, where you can actually, those traditional guys can put a bunch of money into Atom or whatever it may be and actually earn dividends on those holdings. So we'll see how it kind of plays out. We'll still be here and still be on Twitter. And of course, Patreon and Discord members will get all of that first. But that's kind of been the same outlook we've had all year. And definitely Bitcoin did outpace a lot of alts, especially since April. So prior to April, you did have alts having great runs like Litecoin and some that were BNB that were outperforming Bitcoin. But as of April, really everything's underperformed Bitcoin, and that was really the place that you needed to be. And lucky for us, we always have maintained that everybody needs to really own at least one Bitcoin. I don't know how much money you have in crypto, but if you have enough to own one Bitcoin, you need to own one Bitcoin before you really try to buy or trade any of these altcoins. Also, if you're getting in altcoins that offer ROI, meaning passive income, staking, masternodes, whatever, take advantage of it. Take them off the exchange, start earning your daily income of the coin, and see what it builds into. Some people get into alts and they don't stake, and then they sit on a trade forever and never actually make any ROI on that coin. And we've always said that's kind of silly. And here we stand, a year and a half later since we started doing this. And if you start to look at the staking rewards you could earn from some of these coins, it's pretty astronomical. So hopefully you guys took advantage of that. This entire bear market now leading up into this bull rally that we're seeing the past 6, 7, 8 months.
What up, Clifford? Asher Newman, yep, I am losing some weight. I think really what's happening is his guns are just getting bigger. Nothing else is happening. But I am still working out. I actually am getting more than 4 hours sleep now, and working out and not eating as much, so not as much stress at the moment. Then what Lachlan McMurray says, what point for Bitcoin would I say we're not going to 9,000? That's everyone in Discord probably asks the same question. I guess my thing is I'm not sure there's any number at the moment. I mean, I think I would need a correction to come from higher levels in my technometer to give me a buy, and then I'd be all over that, thinking that maybe we've turned the tables and we're headed higher. But I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine a rally back above 12.2. That would probably make me wonder if I'm wrong, but I just don't see that happening. So I think a lot of people bought 12.1, 12.2. We had that triangle up there. It looked so perfect.
Everybody
the triangle was so sweet.
Anybody who says that their Twitter feed was bearish, or I'm sure there was a couple people out there. Me and Todd weren't buying there, but we had so many people asking, all right, well, if we break 12K, you got to buy that because you're breaking out. And it's like, I don't know. We're not really playing it that way. So,
and then people said, well, I bought, but I got stopped out. Well, damn, it fell so sharp out of that triangle that I'm not sure you got stopped out. Right. In the real world, did you get stopped out? Because I think a lot of people trading are not trading. So it's easy to say my stop is in there and I got stopped out, but anybody trading realizes that that's just not really the way it works. Because that was like a $600. That was like a $600 move in a minute.
Quickly.
So.
And if you are buying the breakout, how close of a stop are you using? Because those small losses really add up. I don't like getting whipsawed around on stops. Dave Murray said best stake coin. There's a bunch of staking coins. So you need to go to masternodes.online or masternodes.pro. You can check out some Masternode coins, but there's a bunch out there. Atom is a good one that I've been in lately. Fundamentals are strong. Price is very cheap right now. Zen, you can have multiple nodes. Rapids RPD, you can have multiple nodes. KMD has staking on Binance. Neo has staking on Binance. ONT has staking on Binance. If you would want a really good starting point, just type in on Google Binance staking rewards, and it'll have a full list of what they provide monthly staking payouts on their exchange. And then you can start going down the wormhole and learning a little bit about it. If you are in our Patreon or private Discord, ask a question in there. I can give you a full list and more help on how to get you started and get you earning daily, weekly, or monthly dividends on the cryptocurrencies you hold, and start getting you that passive income. Instead of being rich, that's how you build wealth. Multiple streams of revenue, whether that's your day job, whether that's trading, whether that's staking. That's what it takes to really build a life of wealth rather than a life of riches.
Somebody asked about Chainlink. Again, I don't trade a lot of these. Nick's had some success trading them, but we've had a 0.618 pullback here. Previous support around this $1.80. So I know we talked around that earlier, that was support. So I would think this is one. It's got a good fundamental story, holding up pretty well. I mean, I'd be a buyer of that on any break on Bitcoin, and probably wouldn't be hurt to own it here. I mean, I think you're going to lose if you buy it here, short term. But that's probably one that leads us higher. I mean, that chart's a kick-ass chart.
Yeah, I would agree. This is one that we've been trading in and out of. Big historical chart on this, dating back all the way to when it was like 80 cents or so. I still am sitting on the sidelines on this one only because I'm looking for Bitcoin to go down, and I think it will get hit again. And I'm kind of keying off the support levels there, somewhere around 205, and also worst case scenario, somewhere around 185. So we'll see how that kind of plays into fruition. And if you want the up-to-date moment, then those Discord members will get that. We have seen some massive weakness when Bitcoin sold off, but just didn't get quite low enough for me to really want to pull the trigger. I think it got somewhere around $2.19 or $2.16.
Right.
But it was on a very rapid wick, too fast to really make the decision to jump back in. And we've seen a little more strength here in Bitcoin than we anticipated as well.
I mean, if Bitcoin breaks $9,000 and goes down to 8,500 or something, I would say this thing's $1.80, and then I'd mortgage the house.
There you go.
No, that's a joke.
Mortgage the house. He said it.
All right, and with that joke, we're going to run a disclaimer.
There is a high degree of risk involved in trading cryptocurrencies. Our thoughts and ideas are for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your personal advisor or do your own research. Past results are not indicative of future returns.
Awesome. Let me get to another news article. We got more questions coming across. So, Randy, I will get to your question, but I want to finish up briefly on these two news topics because I'm not really reading the articles. Do the giveaway, and then we'll go to the chat box and the charts until we decide that we're bored and need to get back to the Patreon members. So, Ethereum Wiz teases 100x scaling, says crypto is bigger than Bitcoin. Now, we've been hearing this story for Ethereum for a while. The reason I started getting bearish on Ethereum near the highs was due to the fact that, number one, it was having scaling issues. CryptoKitties, bottleneck, it didn't even work. That wasn't going to work. Number two, that more protocol platforms and more competition was coming into the space. This is when EOS was new to the space. Neo was getting up towards the high of $196. Knowles was coming out. All these new protocol platforms are coming into the space. Now you're seeing Atom, Icon, etc., etc. So I thought that market share, that sector needed to get divvied up, and some of that market share would go to other bags. But lately, we were supposed to see Ethereum do some upgrades, go to proof of stake. Well, that's taking longer than normal. Now, I think this is still going to come, and that's really what Ethereum needs and really what crypto needs in general, and that's what Vitalik kind of says here. Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin says improving scalability could slash crypto transaction costs by a factor of over 100. We do like cheap transaction costs. That's crucial considering the blockchain has become so much bigger than, quote, Bitcoin. This isn't him talking poop on Bitcoin. He's just saying that blockchain technology doesn't need to only be used for a monetary system, but can also be used as a decentralized asset platform to build other projects, and really for a company to start storing its data on the blockchain as well, an immutable source to store the data. Moreover, Buterin says upgrading scalability could dramatically boost crypto mass adoption. So that's a pressing issue the industry must address if it wants to make Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies mainstream. What we've all been looking for is mainstream, mass adoption, usability, and a storage of wealth. We are in a digital world, my friends, so what do we need? We need a digital store of wealth. Obviously, we're not to the point where we can say, hey, don't own any precious metals or don't own oil or anything like that. But I think down the road, whether it's our generation or the next generation, that might be where we're at. Quote, scalability is this is important here, that he even said this. Scalability is a big bottleneck because the Ethereum blockchain is almost full. Now, if you just read that, I'm sure we're going to see some FUD articles saying that the Ethereum blockchain is almost full. We're going to have issues where the price for Ethereum transactions skyrockets once again, like we did with CryptoKitties. Or you can kind of look at it in a positive light. Maybe Bakkt Exchange launches physically settled Ethereum futures contracts. All the other institutional platforms are probably going to have Ethereum. And maybe this means that Vitalik knows it's coming, the team knows it's coming, and maybe the solution, the plasma, the sharding, the proof of stake, is maybe closer than we think. Now, there's always the memes that this has taken forever, and it has taken forever. But understand that positive auditing of code takes time. I'm sure they could force out proof of stake and other upgrades, but if that just causes malfunctions, or maybe you lose your crypto, or there's a hack, or 51% attack, whatever it may be, well, that's kind of all for naught. So I think you need to give him a little bit of a break. He's still a public figure. He isn't running away with your money or anything like that. He's still developing. So hopefully we can see Ethereum have some good upgrades to the development side, because we know it's about to get some major upgrades on the institutional exposure side. And if those two line up with each other, I think Ethereum will be one that we will need to continue to allocate in our portfolio and maybe increase the percentage slightly as these alts try to start outperforming Bitcoin in the near future. What you got, Todd? And then we can come back to me.
I can give a few stock updates here.
Let's do it.
This is the SPY that we had a nice sell up here and a nice cover. And I was hoping to get an ABC kind of back up here. The problem is we are getting that price-wise. Technometer 40.73, so nowhere giving me a sell. I mean, that's still friendly. So I guess stocks still a little bit higher. My week in review, I did say stocks higher this week. So we had a big day today, 300 in the Dow. Bonds looking for further pullback. Big trades in bonds. I did sell here, which now was early. We're just a hair higher than that now. But technometer 48, Again, we had an overbought technometer last 2 days, which picked this high. I think bonds are going to continue down. And again, we've talked about this. If you would have bought when I had a buy signal on TLT, if you would have bought Bitcoin, that's a huge trade. And I had a sell August 7th on the TLT. And again, that wasn't a technometer sell. I just thought that was a big run and maybe it would top out, and that bar after I sold looked pretty heavy. But we did get a sell here on the technometer. It would have been started this day here. So if we're ready for a pullback on TLT, probably that puts pressure on Bitcoin. So, and same thing with the gold and silver. I sold that actually top tick. Anybody new, those are trades I give basically live. So there's no question those trades I'm doing. Anybody I manage money for are getting those trades done. So we are down here at oversold on GDX. I'd mentioned yesterday that looking to buy it. We did open lower, did close higher. So maybe we run back and test this high at 30. I didn't buy GDX today, but that might be the trade that I should have been on. So we'll watch that. And UUP, the dollar index, I'm trying to be short. I've not tried again. Talked about it. Major overbought technometer, so I don't know. You could call this an up thrust. That's kind of a stretch. Looks more like a jump and a backup. We could stop here, maybe come back and back up to 2640 again. So again, want to be short that, but just haven't pulled the trigger. And if you follow Wyckoff on crypto, that's my Twitter on crypto. I did start one, Wyckoff on stocks. So if you guys want to follow that, I'm going to try to use that back to just giving just stock ideas there at that Twitter. A lot of people aren't interested in cryptos, trying to get them interested, but they're going to run when we're back at 20,000. So if you just want some stock ideas as well, I'm going to try to do more updates on stocks there. Still giving it to Discord, still going to talk about it on here, but I'm going to go in a much more deeper dive on stocks like I used to.
There we go. We do have some questions here. Randy says, Nick, which coin should I accumulate for the next alt run? Should I focus more on new alts since most will probably sell past alts at break even? Now, I wouldn't say buy new alts just because they're new. We're still looking at fundamental projects. I believe a lot of all the old alts that have good fundamentals are going to still and have still maintained their value, whether it's Ethereum, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic, XLM. They're still in that top 10, 15, top 20 level. A lot of the same names since the blow off top of 2017. Also with that, you talk about people selling the break even. Although that is something we do see, a mentality that we see all the time. People get killed, they finally get break even, they're going to sell out so they can tell their wife they got their money back. So you will see some resistance at those levels. But realize on a lot of these altcoins, those levels are much higher, 10x, 20x, 30x from these price points. So I don't really think you want to be worrying about that right now. And if you do own from those higher levels, you didn't join our patreon.com/learncrypto. A little shill for us there, Todd, and you didn't sell those with us, then maybe you should take a lower prices here to start to reduce your cost basis on those assets. I still believe that even projects that have got hammered, like Neo, if it went to $90, which is less than 50% of its all-time high. Its all-time high was like 196. Whoa. I mean, you're making a 10x on top of all the earnings you make from any trade you do and the gas that you get paid out monthly. So I'm not going to worry about people selling at break-even because those break-even levels are way, way higher, and we'll get to that when we even get to those levels once again.
What up, Johnny Cool?
Somebody said good Ethereum talk. Well, there you go. It's kind of how we've been following it, and it's been working out for us so far. We did go very heavy in Ethereum, back down, what was it, in the 60s, 80s, in the $100 level, and then we did have a sell on what we call the fifth wave top up around $320 and been sitting in our hands since. So we'll see how that plays out. It has been looking heavy. Hopefully we can get a little bit lower to get those ETH bags back. Martin Max King says, Nick, don't forget to mention the 100% profit on Crypt, CRPT. Many of you probably haven't heard of it, but over on Patreon and private Discord, we do catch all of these small cap coins, Palm Beach confidential picks, etc., and we trade them in live time. So I'll just show that. I did put this out on Twitter, and this is us being conservative, but 250% gainers over the course of a couple days. And we did pretty well. We got in here right before this major rally. We sold near the top, had some consolidation. I said if we get down back around 28.50, get another bag because I believe it will be a Palm Beach Confidential pick and lead to much higher prices. It did moon, and on this chart I marked it at around 4,300. It hit as high as 48 or 5,000 sats. So I was being conservative on these because I know everybody isn't as fast at hitting the buy or hitting the sell or whatever it may be. So even being conservative, you made over 100% for Patreon members over the course of a week there. And we are keeping an eye on CRPT for fundamental reasons. I'm not going to give away any price points, what we're thinking, because that is for Patreon members, and I'll keep it to that. But shout out to you, Martin. That means you are a Discord member for sure, and hopefully you are the one who also benefited from the massive gains on CRPT, while the rest of the market was really having a rough time and low volatility at that time as well.
Give me back the screen because Johnny Cool. We're going to go back to GDX for you, Johnny, because you just showed up. You've been a supporter. So the funny thing about the GDX chart, technometer down here at 35. And as you can see on this chart, that's as oversold as GDX has been going back to 1st of June. So you would think we're going to bounce there. And why that is, there's been a lot of sell volume coming in here in the last 8 days or whatever this is, and gave us that oversold technometer. So yeah, I would think worst case GDX could go back here and maybe tag 30. Best case, it zooms to new highs again. So I think if you bought the calls today, you probably did a nice trade.
There you go. And talking about GDX, Clifford Chapman says, call me silly. I only buy physical gold and silver and hold it myself. Me, no do paper gold. Now, I know Todd does paper trading on commodities and precious metals for trading purposes. But I kind of agree with you there, Clifford Chapman. If you're a gold bug or you're doom and gloom, if the markets or fiat currency at hyperinflation or there's a stock market crash, what is paper gold going to do for you? It kind of defeats the whole purpose of a storage of value there, as you're definitely not going to be able to redeem those funds if there was that catastrophic event for the U.S. economy or global economy. So, if you're a gold bug or that's the reason you're holding it, any gold or silver I have is a hedge against paper money. I want to hold the actual physical gold.
And Johnny wants to trade options to make it feel like crypto.
Whoa, there you go.
If anybody wants to trade any GDX, we can open accounts for you at Charles Schwab and manage stock accounts for you. And that's going to be probably at 2%, not 3%.
There you go. All of the links are at the bottom, guys. For those of you who are new, learncrypto.io is kind of our home base, as well as wyckoffsmi.com. So check that out. See what we offer outside of YouTube. You hear us mentioning Patreon. I think we have 700 people over there. It's like $40 a month. You get me and Todd 24/7 access. We do trading. We do fundamentals. We do news. We have Palm Beach Trader, Palm Beach Confidential, Crypto Syndicator, Trading Bot. We have a bunch of things over there, all valued at much more than the $40 that we're trying to bring to you each and every day.
I guess I'll finish here with, I mentioned this maybe last time. Custody, insurance, all that's coming for big money. Even I'm getting talk of people with big money wanting to come to the area because now they can get custody and insurance, which they need for clients' money or for them to be able to sleep at night. So I would have to think we're going a lot higher on all this stuff. But I think it is Bitcoin. It's the top coins. Be careful where you have your money. But I would think Bitcoin's still going a lot higher. So keep it moving. Discord link, I think you'll see that. Somebody asked
Let's
for
go
the
ahead
Discord
and
link.
do this giveaway.
Let's
hit that like button and subscribe button, guys, and leave a comment in the comment section below with your Rapids RPD wallet address for your chance to win. We had to give that mid-video update. I do have one more news article. Mystery Satoshi Nakamoto claims he's holding $10 billion in Bitcoin. This has been on Twitter that the real Satoshi is going to unveil himself. It was supposed to start today, I believe, so I haven't even seen what the first step of the unveiling was. He's saying that he owns 980,000 Bitcoin, but he can't really prove he's Satoshi because maybe the hard drive got wiped. I don't know. I think this is all a publicity stunt, all a bunch of hogwash. And unless there is a digital signatory on the Bitcoin blockchain, then I am not going to believe it. Or the first Bitcoin is moved from that first initial block 1 on Bitcoin is moved, then I am not believing it as well. This is a bunch of nothing. Who gives a crap until it's proven otherwise? Then we'll see whether or not Satoshi, the unveiling of him would be positive or negative for the ecosystem.
Sorry, I'm making myself laugh because is it this Satoshi right here? Is it that him?
Let me see.
This guy? I thought that's the guy that started Bitcoin. Is this the one where he gets that? No, I guess this is going to be the one where he gets that.
All I know is right when that girl started dancing, all of our subscribers rained on her. So that's perfect timing.
And all you got to do is type in, there's a guy dancing on floating girls. Sorry.
Oh, too funny. Let's do the giveaway from the last live show we did together. Let's see where that is. That was a little while ago. Make sure to watch this Horizon interview I did about the same time, but it is on this video. Shout out to the 2,600 people who watched along with us as Bitcoin was on its way to $12,000. We'll copy that.
I'm at the horse track Saturday night. I actually want a trifecta.
Whoa. Winning all over the place. And the winner is of 10,000 RPD simply by being an active community member. REI Group, shout out to you. There is his Rapids wallet address. He said, RPD wallet, triple my bag, guys. Thanks for the best crypto show, gangsta style. Well, we appreciate that, and I'll be sure to get you those RPD if you want to win free crypto. Keep tuning into here because obviously the information is going to help you trade better, help you use crypto better, and maybe feel a little more comfortable getting your friends and family involved in crypto. But you also might get paid to do it. Simply like the video, subscribe to the channel, keep tuning in, and leave a comment in the comment section below with your Rapids RPD wallet address. Win those coins, stake those coins, and earn those sats.
REI Group was the first guy in here, so I got a feeling he
might still be around.
No, I mean, he's in there, but I think he's running that bot, maybe.
Uh-oh.
First all-time win, REI Group. Cool. Discord link. Run it again. We did just touch 10.9 again.
Johnny M. Cool said, I just bought 0.1 BTC. Gonna end our run now, or something.
Chris B's got the all clear to take a home equity loan. And Nick did that right down at the lows.
We did. I did say when we were, I don't even know what the price of Bitcoin was. I said if Bitcoin ever goes below $4,000, I will be taking out a HELOC loan to be buying that bag. It did break below that. In the process of taking out the HELOC, we were ready to buy that 3,000 to 3,200 low we were looking for. Coinbase takes forever, and I think I got in for 35.23 or something. So I can't complain too much. We're sitting here much higher, but man, that extra couple $200 might have been an extra Bitcoin or a half a Bitcoin or something like that.
You only bought because everybody else that we follow was extremely bearish at the lows.
Right.
That's all I got.
That's about all. Do you guys have any more fundamental questions, news questions, or chart questions? If not, we're going to try to wrap this up. I'll get the ads and everything on this video, get it posted to YouTube for you guys. We'll send those RPD to the winner. Don't forget to enter for your chance to win RPD. And if you decide to join our Patreon, we will be in Discord later tonight. Get over there, and as soon as I get home, I'll send you a message with the Discord link to get you that access and get you tripling those bags.
10.902.
Uh-oh.
So
here we go.
I don't think we chase rallies here, but do your own research. Good luck.
Bud Time said we were 1,200 away from me flying in. Oh, well. What is that referring to, Bud Time?
He was calling a low, and I told him, I think I told him I'd kiss where the sun don't shine or something. And he was going to fly in. We almost got that. I think he was looking for 2,000 on Bitcoin.
Maverick Gold, Nick, do you mine RVN to trade or hodl?
What up,
and are you selling the tops for more BTC and other coins? I still mine RVN on one of my mining rigs. RVN has been one that, as of late, every time it really kind of has a run, I'm willing to let it go. So I've been selling those into strength. I don't mine a ton of it because it is on the smallest of the 3 rigs that I have. But I just put it straight into Bitcoin. The same thing with my other 2 mining rigs. They're mining Ethereum Classic. I keep 50% of the Ethereum Classic for a trading bag, and I sell the other 50% on any strength, any major green bars or outperformance, and it goes straight to Bitcoin as well.
My computers are mining Verge at Pornhub.com.
You're a payment processor. You're accepting all the Verge for the videos.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
What mine's doing. And it's running 24 hours a day.
24 hours. Check it out. That's who we're going to need to get as a sponsor.
Guaranteed.
I think that's about all we got. So we will see you guys later. I don't know. Todd might take a couple-day break here at some point, but we will be live again. The duo, I promise you again, before this weekend is over. We also are looking to do a Patreon-only live show soon. We have to do one major one before the end of the month. That consists of 4 giveaways. All of the giveaways are in crypto, valued at least $10. And then we are looking to do more recorded videos that are Patreon only as well. So we'll see what we have for you. I do know Josiah Spackman from Digibyte wants to do an interview, so we'll talk a little bit about Digibyte. Somebody was asking about DGB and its fundamentals and why it's lagging. I know that Metrics wants to do an interview as well as some others. So we need to get back on our game. We kind of got really busy there for a while. We were happy on the bullish making money on the market and trades. We were happy with all the Patreon members, but it kind of bogged down what we do as far as free content. And we still want to be here for each and every one of you because we don't know your financial situation. Hopefully you get to the point where you want to dive deeper into stocks and crypto with me and Todd, and you join us over on patreon.com and learncrypto.io.
Right. And like you said, I might drive home. I got to see if my garage door opener still works. and I might spend a couple days at home. If so, I'll go quiet a little bit online. I'll still be in Discord, but I've got some big Bitcoin holders flying in this weekend, big ones. So I got a meeting with them. So gonna get ready for that. So that's all I got.
That's all we got, guys. We will see you soon. Make sure to catch the replay, listen to all the details, and until next time, stay tuned for your daily updates on cryptocurrencies right here at Learn Crypto.
Buy some XMR in a few weeks.
Whoa, we've been known to kill it if you watch all the way to the end. Keep that in mind and take note.
Well, hey, stay positive, pal. Most people, when they lose, they whine and quit. But you got to be there for the turns. Everybody's got good luck, everybody's got bad luck. Don't run when you lose.
Play hard, play clean. Be careful out there.
We'll see you all again. Sleep tight.